In this video, I will show you how to sew the sides of your bag together with your binding tape using mattress stitch. When I start sewing my sides together, now I've obviously started here, but I use the thread that I used to knit my side so there's an end. Mattress stitch is what creates an invisible seam between two open pieces of work. When you're about to sew your work together, you need to look at where your yarn end is and where you should start. You need to go under the stitch that is your sewing stitch, so the open stitch you have on the needle, and sew through from the wrong side. I can just zoom in here, so it's a bit easier to see. As you can see here, we have our sewing stitch. It's right here, so that means I need to take the stitch above it. I go in here from the front and go in like a pearl, take the stitch off the needle and sew it together here. So I actually do that every time I sew into the one I just sewed and take a new stitch off the needle. So here at the bottom, I go into the one below, go in here from the front and take the stitch through here like a pearl and sew through both stitches. I continue like this and up here at the top. There I need to go in this particular section above our stitching, and I insert from the front and again proceed carefully into it like a pearl with precision and care. And when I go into these stitches, whether it's at the bottom or on the side, I insert into the left leg of the stitch, meaning the one that is towards the opening of what I need to include in the stitching. So I do it again here, take the left leg of the stitch from the front, take a stitch from the needle here and sew both stitches. And it's also important when you sew your stitch that you don't pull too tight, because the stitch should match the knitting tension as closely as possible. You can see here that I can pull on it, and then you can see which one is your sewing stitch, and thus we need to go over the one above. I go through both stitches again, take it off the needle and sew together. And you basically continue like this all the way along the side. So it's a good idea that the end you start sewing with is long enough so you can sew several sides on, avoiding the need to add more yarn. I hope this video provided a good picture of how to sew stitch seams. In the next video, you can see how to sew the sides together.